across the World Wide Web, on your mobile devices, on social media platforms. This is Jambo Radio! www.jamboradio.co.uk. We are multilingual. We are conversational in the languages you best understand. We are Jambo Radio! Jambo Radio, inspiring transformation.
Welcome to Enterprise in Scotland, our weekly show focused on bringing conversations around ethnic minority-owned businesses in Scotland. I'm George Tarr. Today on the show, we are joined by the CEO and Creative Director of MF by Foresight, the brand. Now, it's Mobola Foresight. She joins us on the line. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you very much. MF by Foresight, the brand. It's interesting name. Can you tell us about the business? What is it? What's the product, the services that you provide?
Okay, so MF by Foresight brand, to be honest, is my first name, half of my first name and my surname together. That's
Okay, so
just my name.
you're called Mobola, yeah?
Yes, Mobola Foresight.
Foresight,
and then
yes.
people call me Mo. And
Mo,
yeah,
yes,
so,
okay.
yeah. Yes, so my brand is MF by Foresight. So basically, it's just my name and my surname together. And
Excellent.
MF by Foresight brand is an Afrocentric fashion brand. The aim is to bridge the gap between the African fashion world and the contemporary fashion world. So basically, what does Afrocentric mean? Afrocentric is celebrating the African culture and heritage. So I use African prints to create everything and anything you can think of, from fashion pieces to accessories to lifestyle pieces and all that. So
Right.
basically, it's just a way of celebrating culture while also being fashionable about it. Yeah, so that's
So
what MF Foresight brand basically is.
right. So in terms of you talked about celebrating culture, and are they products or sort of services that what sort of activities do the business do?
Okay, so yeah, for products, we do everything ranging from clothes to handbags to accessory pieces to home decor pieces. It's a variety, to be honest, and our African print is so versatile and so colorful and inspirational that it can tell whatever story you want it to tell in the pieces that you're creating. So right now we're focused on females only. It's more of a woman's brand. But yeah, so it's like I said, we're celebrating our culture, our heritage, also being passionate about it. When I create a handbag, I like to tell a story behind the handbag, the reason why I'm creating it, what I am celebrating, and what it stands for and what it means to me. The color patterns that I use, why am I using it, what's the mood for it, and things like that. There is always a story, there is always an inspiration, there's always a reason behind every piece that I create and why I want people to enjoy wearing or carrying it.
Okay. What was the gap? What was the gap for you to have triggered the concept of this your business?
In all fairness, when I started it, there was really no we didn't understand the meaning of the gap when I actually just started it. I started because it was something that I like and something that I was passionate about. Just looking at people dressing up and me thinking, okay, I can recreate this using this type of fabric and all. But as time went on and me trying to get into the market, reading more about the Afrocentric fashion, was when I realized that there is a huge market for it and people have not really tapped into it quite yet. There is still so much to be done. There's still so many stories to be told about it. And
Yeah.
then I started to look for how I can actually bridge the gap. And that was when I decided, you know what, when I'm creating a piece with the African fabric, be it Ankara, be it the batik tie and dye, be it Ashoke, be it Kente, Woodin, any of the prints that I'm using, I would incorporate it with the contemporary fabric, so that there is a story behind it. Like, look, it's versatile enough for everybody and anybody to wear, to use. It's not I'm not streamlining it to just the African culture alone. I'm opening it to the whole world. It's
Okay.
good enough to be on the runway, competing alongside with those big brands that we know about, the Gucci's and the rest of them.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I think at this point it would be good to know how can people check out, some of the product that you have, to see them. Do you have a website? Or the physical
Yes, I
premises? Or
do.
something? Yeah.
Yes, I
So,
do.
can you share that with us, please?
Yes, I do. Sorry about that, man.
No, it's fine. Yeah, okay. So we got confused
Would
here
that
because thought the buzzer is going on when we're on live on the show, but it's fine.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
what's your website?
So it's www.mfbyforsightbrand.com.
Okay.
Again, www.mfbyforsightbrand.com, and it's the same handle for my Instagram page, mf by foresight at mf by foresight brand.
Yeah, so that's MF. Just for our listeners, it's MF. That's a Mike, Fred. Yep. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes. And then yeah, then it's by
yes,
Foresight. Yeah, the
yes,
brand. So all one word.
yes,
And
yes.
dot com. Is that correct?
I am so sorry. Can you give me a second? I'm not sure why it's going on.
Okay. This is the beauty of life. Imagine that we're live. That would
I
be
know,
interesting.
right?
So yeah, do we have yeah, we probably need to edit that out. So well, it's
I
good that
am
we're.
so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's
Thank
fine.
God we are not live.
Yeah, it's good that we're not live.
Yes,
That will create a different sort of panic. Okay, cool. Yeah. So so you were giving us your website there and also your social.
media.
Yeah, so your social media handles. Yeah, you want to share that with
Yes.
us? Yeah, please.
So it's www.mfbyforesightbrand.com. So MF is spelled MFBYFORESYTHEBRAND. So mfbyforesightbrand.com.
Okay.
Instagram handle is the same thing, MF by Foresight at MF by Foresight brand.
Okay, so yeah, on the show we focus on talking about obviously ethnic minority owned businesses and initiative in Scotland, and one of the big part of it is also looking at how people how this initiative or businesses are able to to raise perhaps the investment, funding and all of that. So, what's been your journey on this venture?
Oh my God, it's not been. There were so many no's before the yes, so many no's before the yes, and initially getting the no's, it was always very frustrating. I was always very in my feelings about it, and then I realized that okay, maybe they really don't understand what the Afrocentric fashion industry
Yes,
really
that's
is. You
Queen.
get what I mean? So I went back to redo a proper business plan and all that, and I dedicated a portion of the business plan really explaining. I know that most times it's just the figures they want to see, but I went out of my way to make sure that I really highlighted the reasons behind Afrocentric, what Afrocentric fashion means, what it would do, what it would become, and stuff like that before I get to the figures. And to be fair, it was still a couple of no's until the yes came. And how did that come? Just meeting the right people, having the right people for them to put you through, like strategically positioning you at the right place at the right time. So yes, I have a friend who, I mean, we talked about it all, and she did some introductions, and then I took it from there. And to make sure that I got what I wanted, it was a lot of work behind the scene,
Yeah.
because trust me, the knows will come.
Oh yes. Yeah. I think we might have lost you a bit there, Mo, but hoping that you're gonna be coming back on. We also have a second guest that will be coming on in a moment on the show. So you are listening to Enterprise in Scotland, and my name is George Tar. Of course, this Enterprise in Scotland is our weekly magazine show that focus on bringing conversation around ethnic minority-owned businesses. And if you are following this show on the Jambo Radio social media site, social media platforms, you can send us a DM on our Facebook, which is Jambo Radio Scotland, and on our Twitter is Jambo Radio Scott, and Instagram handle is at jamboradio.scotland. You can also do it in the old-fashioned way, which has become old-fashioned way. It's email us at info@jamboradio.co.uk, and if you haven't download it yet, Jambo Radio is available. Jambo Radio Scotland is available now on all mobile devices, so you can download our app there from App Store, or for those of you who are on iPhone. You can download it from App Store and other OIS devices, and on Google Play for Android devices. So we're talking to Mo Bola Forsyth, who is the founder. She's the CEO and creative director of MF by Forsyth, the brand. She's telling us about our business, which is mainly focused around celebrating culture. So it involves fabrics. So would you say, your business model is sort of upcycling, reusing, or how would you say that, or it's just kind of redesigning of fabrics to make it perhaps appealing to your target market?
I would say upcycling, reusable, and redesigning. Even though if the fabric on its own, it can stand on its own without you even having to design it. But yes, designing the fabric into creating, no, using the fabric to create a nice product, because the fabric on its own is already beautiful. So are we talking about the Ankara? The Ankara is colorful, the patterns are beautiful, the cuts to your different moods, and also the fabric on its own is already beautiful, it's already rich. We talk about the tie and dye, the batik. You can play around with colors. It gives you the opportunity to just play around with colors and create your pattern and your design. for the ashoke, the woven one, picking the thread for it, picking the color palette for it. Like, it just gives you that opportunity to just create anything you want to create. So I would say that the fabrics on their own already tells the story, and then it's you just creating it into a nice masterpiece, if you can say that, like creating a masterpiece for it and just bringing it more into life, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So the other thing I was gonna also ask, obviously, how long has it been running for?
So we officially launched the brand 2018.
2018. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, we officially birthed MF by Foresight in 2018.
So and that's been running since then. So that's about 7 years. Okay.
Yes, yeah, a lot of
One.
testing of the waters, a lot of, doing variety of things and just streamlining it to what appeals to people. Do you get what
Yeah.
I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah.
And are you mostly online?
Yes, so it's an e-commerce
It's an
store. It's an
e-commerce.
e-commerce store. Yes, so
E-commerce store.
everything is done. Yeah, everything
Yeah.
is done online.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So check that out. It's MF by Foresight the brand.com. That is MF for M, that's M for Mike and F for Freddy. By Foresight, then the brand.com. That's a website, and of course, the brand is also available on all your social media platforms. Which one is it more interactive for you? More which of the
Instagram.
social media, which of the
Instagram.
Instagram. Okay, so you can find yeah, her on, you can find the business on Instagram, more on Instagram. MF by Foresight the brand on Instagram. So
No, it's just MF by Foresight brand.
okay, okay, MF by Foresight brand. Yes, sorry, I've been giving the wrong information. I apologize. That's my yeah, I think that was me trying to think a bit more. Yeah, but
I know.
yeah.
Tell me
So
it's time for me to
no, it's okay. So
I don't know. Relaunch.
yes, yeah. So since you launch, uh, in terms of the business growth, how? So in terms of the business growth, how has that progressed? Obviously, starting always a challenging time, but a business that is way past, 3 years, as you know, it's no longer a baby. So it can still remain the baby for the founder. But I think, just thinking about it, how has been the growth pathway?
The first 5 years it was really tough and really slow because everything I did was actually out of pocket. So we had the highs and the lows and more of the lows the first 5 years. And again, in that 5 years was me using it to also test the waters to know what I want to stick with, what products I want to stick with. So at the beginning I did a whole lot of things. I did a whole lot of products and all, and just to streamline it to which ones um sold properly in my market, my target markets and all that. So the first 5 years was teething period. It was struggling period. It was crawling period. It was me learning, unlearning, and relearning that whole period. And I think after that, it started becoming where my customers became repeated customers. So it gave me some kind of hope. When I know that you buy something from me once, you would always come back to keep buying. So there was something I was doing right. Do you get what I mean? And yeah, that's been the story. It's been hard work, and then we are getting to the stage where we are comfortable now because a lot of things that we worked in the background, it's coming full circle, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, coming full circle. So I think, I think, what you mean by there, businesses booming.
Well, we can say
Yeah,
that.
you're trying to be moderate.
So,
Yes, that's a fact. I'm not gonna ask you to write me a check, but I think you would at some point. So we well just stand by, and we also join on the line by Queen Abo, who is she is the founder of Event Titis Signature, and she joins us on the line as well. For to talk about a business fair that's happening tomorrow in Glasgow. So, good afternoon to you, Queen. Can you hear me? And welcome to the show.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm trying to sort my camera because from this end, I'm seeing myself upside down and I don't know why. Thank you for having me, and I'm still trying to sort out the technical part of this. Can you see me?
I can't. No, not yet. But you can put your camera on landscape. Yeah, I think I can see you now. But you put your camera on landscape, and we'll be able to see you.
Landscape.
You're on landscape
So,
now. Okay. You perhaps want to rotate it a bit if you're on landscape. Let's see. Um, just see.
and this?
Yeah, let's. Yeah, that's fine. Yes, the producer says fine, so that's good. Yes, let's go. So, welcome to the show, and you are the founder of entities. Sorry, Event Cities Signature.
Yes.
Tell us about Eventities before we can talk about the event that's happening tomorrow. Well, the
Right.
event that's happening on Saturday, today Saturday, yes, in Glasgow.
Okay, so thank you so much for having me, Jambo Radio. Thank you. Actually very privileged to have myself on this show. My name is Queen Igbo, and I'm the founder of Eventity's Signature, which is it's an event planning company, an event management planning and styling company that specializes in event management and overall styling of events.
Excellent.
Yeah,
And when was this found?
that was founded in 2013.
2013. Okay, that's good. Yeah, obviously you've got a long track record there of organizing the event. And today you're organizing, you have a business fair that's happening right here in Glasgow. And this is at Destiny Church. The event starts at 7 a.m. Well,
Yeah.
it will be starting at 7 a.m. in Glasgow. So, at Destiny Church. Do you want to tell us the significance of this event and why do you think this should be happening?
Okay, so Eventity Business Fair is like it's like a product that has been created out of Eventity signatures. So Business Fair is an event where we have local businesses come together, network, collaborate among themselves, connect with their local communities. Because we understand that local communities need to know the businesses around them.
That's
So
right.
Eventity Business Fair is a bridge that helps connect inclusion, cultural diversity amongst African and Caribbean businesses.
And very important. What do you think this sort of event, like the Eventities business fair, would do? You obviously stated there about creating connections, and building local knowledge of the businesses that are around the local areas where local people can get to understand it. Do you think this is building a broader ecosystem of the African and Caribbean businesses in Scotland?
Yes, yes, it's doing that because looking at Eventity's Business Fair from where we've started, where we are right now, we've managed to work with over 150 local businesses, which are African and Caribbean businesses. So coming over to Scotland to have this business fair in Glasgow tomorrow is going to also enrich the business ecosystem in Scotland because business in Scotland has been able to come on the community of a broader business club where they have to network themselves, learn from each other, gain new strategies that they will in turn put and apply in their businesses to help them scale their businesses. So I believe the Scotland ecosystem, especially as regards business, would feel that Eventity's Business Fair has added much value through the business fair.
And I take it that this is the first of Eventity's business fair that will be happening in Scotland. What are the plan? What are the future plans? How do you envisage this sort of opportunity for businesses across Scotland?
Wow. So for this spring alone, we've had one fair in Newcastle, and then we're having another one in Glasgow. After Glasgow, we'll be in Brighton, and after Brighton, we'll be heading to Manchester and London, Coventry, and Nottingham. So as regards the future, we keep expanding and going to other local communities where we would like to connect local businesses, African local businesses, with their local communities.
And when in the context of local community, do you mean like the African, the black communities in these cities that you've just mentioned, or is it more about broader opening up broader understanding of the businesses to the general local community in the places where these businesses are?
Well, to be very candid, we are open to every local business. So if you are African or not, and you would like to come on our business fairs, you are more than welcome, because we understand that fair or the business fair that we organize in the cities helps local community, helps small businesses come out more and network amongst themselves, which helps them scale their business and even meet potential customers. Because the idea behind the business fair is to connect the local businesses and their direct target audience.
Yeah, wonderful. And obviously, listening to you there, with a lot of experience and passion that you talk, that you're expressing, and we can tell very clearly that you're very passionate about this. So, the thing I wanted to ask you is, how do you, because what we talk on mostly on this Enterprise in Scotland show, we talk about money. So yeah, so do businesses have to register to pay a fee to participate in the Eventity's business fair?
Yes. So we have fair, like a fair for each where businesses would pay, and that would start with a mentoring. We have a pre-fair mentoring session where we prepare them, give them live free webinars, put them in a club where they are opportune to have media prints and other materials that can help them grow their business. And then the activities that happen on that fair would let them network, let them collaborate and learn from industry experts, and most importantly, sell their goods to make money. And after the fair, we also offer post-event mentoring, where we help them use data and analytics of what they've done on that day of the fair to gather all the leads and convert them to customers. So the fair we charge for a stand doesn't just have to do with the day on of the fair. It starts with the pre-event, the event itself, and then the post activities in the event. And I know it's something really magical for the business owners, because we've got a lot of reviews from the business owners we work with.
It's a whole package, of support. So I think, so in terms of, local participation, in terms of the local residents coming to participate, do they have to pay anything to get in? Do they have to have a ticket? Do they register, or how does that work for?
That's the beautiful part about Eventity's business fair. So entry is free for everyone. You are free to come in and listen to all our speakers who's got loads of industry experience. You're free to come in and connect with all the local businesses. You're free to come and shop, most importantly, at discounted prices. These business owners are bringing out their products and services to offer them at discounted prices. So for the general public and the members of the local community, you're invited to come into the fair for free, listen to other industry experts and learn yourself. Be encouraged to come in and see how business works. If you need some level of motivation to help you start a business, that could also happen there at the fair. And also shop favorite items at discounted prices. So it's a total package, especially for those who are coming.
Yeah. So we also have on the line Mo Bola Foresight, who is the CEO and creative director of FM by Foresight brand, and Yeah, so she's listening to us. So I'm not sure if she's already connected to the business fair. But Mo, sorry, before you came on the show, did you know about this business fair
Yes,
that's
to be
happened?
fair, I saw the flyer a couple of times. I saw the
Mm.
flyer
Oh
going
wow.
around a couple of times. So yeah, I
The,
heard about the business fair. Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm glad that's happening, because one of the things that I do for on this show is to build connections. And I think it's so important that business, like-minded business people, can meet, and we've had a lot of connections from this show, and it's always good to have that. So it's good that you're aware of it as well. So, as a business person, obviously, networking opportunities to meet with local people is very important. More, how significant do you think, or how important do you think such events and activities are good for businesses or local
Oh
businesses?
my God, networking is a perfect opportunity to meet people, to mingle with people, and just bounce ideas off people. I mean, well, okay, let me put it this way: the right networking event.
The right
Because
networking event.
sometimes you go for some networking events, and to be honest, you're coming out worse than you went in. So you have to know the right networking event to go for or to go to, that will provide the results that you want and you expect. So I would say, for me, networking events is a yes, yes. It's good to go to networking events. It's good to meet new people, because, to be fair, we keep learning every day. If you stop learning, then you stop living. Do you get what
Yeah,
I mean?
that's
So
right.
there would just be one thing someone would say to you that would awaken that thing in you to say, oh, wow, I didn't think of that. Okay, let me implement it to my own strategy. Do you get what I mean? So, yes, networking event is a yes, speaking event is a yes. The more you put yourself out there to talk about your journey, like when you talk about yourself and coming from a place of vulnerability, people would connect with you more, and they will be interested in what you have to say. So your personal story, your personal journey, to be honest, I found it very useful in connecting with people.
Yeah,
Do you get what
yeah,
I mean? So
that's
yeah.
right. Yeah. So, and of course, I'm also conscious of the fact that I'm speaking to female entrepreneurs, on the show today. So, just to kind of ask, there will be a lot of girls listening, and who would like to be perhaps thinking about venturing into entrepreneurism, because that's what or becoming an entrepreneur or trying to do something. What would be your advice, more, what would you say, because you've been running your business now for 7 years or so.
Actually, I've
um
been running businesses for more than 7 years. I have done other businesses. In fact, I've done countless of businesses.
Successful
So,
and unsuccessful
um,
one.
most unsuccessful, a few
Excellent.
successful.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I mean, I've dabbled into so many things. Name it, I have dabbled into it. But one thing about it is, for every time I dabbled into another business, I always circle back to my fashion business, because no matter how frustrated the fashion business makes me and I leave it for a minute and go somewhere else, I always find myself circling back to my first love. So, this is to say that if you want to go on the entrepreneurial journey, first and foremost, be sure of what you're passionate about. Be sure of the reason, your why. If you don't establish those foundation, you are going to end up like me. circling round and round and round until you eventually come back to the same thing. So I have done that for you. Your own now is to make sure you don't do what I did. So first of all, ask yourself, why do I want to become an entrepreneur? What do I want to do? What value do I want to give? Like, or what story do I want to tell? What am I passionate about? It's better for you to do what you're passionate about so that it doesn't feel like a chore than for you to do something that you feel because everybody is doing it and they're making money, you want to do it too. At the end of the day, you are going to crash land. That's the honest truth. You're going to crash land. So just sit down, set this foundation. When you set it, speak to people that have done it, that have the story to back it up. In fact, they've worn t-shirts and they've hung it. Get wisdom from them. Because one thing I will tell you is being an entrepreneur is not child's play. It's not child's play. When you're starting off, it's going to start off as a one-man band, meaning you're going to be wearing so many different hats.
Absolutely.
Juggling it from here, there, and all that. So it's always best to just draw wisdom from a well of wisdom, if that makes sense.
Does, of
Read
course.
a lot of articles, listen to a lot of podcasts, stories about founders that have done it and they are telling you the authentic truth about it. I'll use myself as an example. When I decided, you know what, I'm birthing MF by Foresight, the one story that inspired me is the story of the founder of Nike. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention other brands on the show.
Well, you've done that already, but I think we can put that out there. It's fine, no problem. Just go ahead. Yeah. So yeah, of course so you're thinking about that. Yes. No.
Yes. So there's this particular founder that his story inspired me, and his story was his personal story. There was something that he liked doing, and there was a lack in it. So he decided to start it, and he started it. His first few years, he crashed land so badly, He was running away from creditors left, right, and center, and all that. But he kept going. But guess what? The very first product that he made, very ugly, if I must say, but in a museum right now. It's in a museum. People go there to go and look at it.
Wow.
When I heard, it was a 1 hour long interview. When I listened to it, I broke it down, I dissected it, and then I ran with it. So for every time I wanted to give up because something went wrong and all, I always just circle back to his story. His story became an anchor for me. Until now, I use it. People that know me very well, if they listen to this show, they will know who I'm talking about, because I always use the person as an example all the time. So
No, I'm sure.
I would say, yes, if you want to become an entrepreneur, you need to go to the basic. Like,
To the basic.
don't jump head in. You jump head in, you're jumping right back out, because entrepreneurial journey, not for the faint-hearted. That I can tell you for.
Not for the faint-hearted. Absolutely. So, Queen, I'm sure you echo the same sentiment. What would you advise a young person, someone that has wanted to venture into, perhaps your side of business or in business in general, because you've been doing this for a while. So I'm sure you must have had some, people pass through your company in terms of employment or work experience or training and all of that. What is the general advice from your perspective, and how do you model your business?
All right. So my advice to anyone out there who wants to go into entrepreneurship is just start.
Just start.
Start trying. Start like you don't know what you're doing. even though I agree with what Mo has said about digging deep and trying to ensure you've listened to numerous podcasts, but honestly, some of those things even scare you, and you never actually get the time to start. So, for me, if I have to speak to anybody who wants to start today, I would ask you to just start. Start it afraid. Start it with so many doubts. Start it pushing. Start it doubting yourself, because all of that is in the learning process. All of that is what makes you gather the experience that would help you scale the business. And I agree with Mo by saying, pick on something that is your passion, pick on
Passion.
something you love to do. That is something that really, really true. Because if you have to do a business as a one-man squad, doing it as a chore would wear you out. But if it's your passion, you wouldn't even know how far you've gone, because it's something you love to do. I'm going to tell a little about myself and my business,
Yeah.
because it's something that resonates with what I'm saying. Passion and business. Naturally, I love to meet people. I'm a people person. I love to go out. I love to see new things. I love to see new places. So having to organize events that brings people together all across the states of UK is something I love doing. Even if I don't get paid for it, I can do it again and another day. So no matter what turbulence or stress I face through it, it's easier for me to keep going because it's something I love doing. So back to what I've started. If I have to tell anybody or give an advice to any young star coming up, I would say just start.
Just that. That is a very firm, basically inspiring and encouraging conversation we're having there. Is basically just that, and also learning along the journey. I think we all, in a sort of position where it's about, whether you're standing in as a role model, whether you would best in terms of your business journey to advise or to counsel anyone, but experience has been proven time and again to be one most important factor, when you want to we're in the entrepreneur's journey. So it's always good to hear how different perspective which fall within similar conversations that I've had with previous entrepreneurs, and also people wanted to start. And it's always my conversation with anyone that want to start is always to you start first, and then every other question and will be answered once you're on the journey, because it's really hard to say which path is good. Because another conversation I was having with some other entrepreneur this afternoon, earlier today, was on the approach of how this journey can basically be also a frustrating one, and the approach to manage to mitigate some of the risks that are involved is reducing overhead, which is one of the things that has to do. So I'm just thinking about this more, you being mostly an online, well, you're online store, and then that's contrary to Queen, who is wanting physical interactions or the face-to-face interactions with people. This kind of present different challenges, isn't it? I think more you can.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, different fields come with their different challenges. Even though I'm behind because I'm mostly online, there is a lot of work done behind the scene for you to see the end product online. So even though I am not paying for, I mean, actually, we are online, the products are online, but we also do have an office where we work from. So I mean, it just depends on your business. My business is not like it's not an event business where I have to be seeing people
Yeah.
all the time and all that. I like to probably make conversation more online because I'm used to that online space. And in all fairness, because I am a creative, I'm constantly creating designs behind the scene and all. I almost have zero time for socializing. That's the honest truth, you know. But I'm comfortable in my space, in my skin, and I do have what it is that we have our overhead costs for. Do you get what I mean?
I
It
think
might
Queen
not
should pull. I
be.
think Queen should pull her out so they can go. To pull her out to come to go to the business first, since you already know about it anyway. So yeah,
I,
I think we get that because your business, in your entire business, is run online. So it is very you are adapted to the space that you operate
yeah.
in and the space that you operate from, which is different from what Queen does. So Queen, in terms of your obviously you have to promote your stuff online because that is where most people get to know, and I'm sure that's where Mo also got to know about the business fair that's happening in at Destiny Church on Pollock Shores. That is on Pollock Shores Road. So do you see that your part? Well, half of your business is basically online because you got to do that for people to be able to engage and register, and perhaps also pay for ticket for those that are coming to exhibit. So do you work more online, and in terms of delivery is a physical event which creates now conversations? Is that how it works?
Well, to be very honest, it's both physical and online because from the moment these business owners register, I told you we belong to a community where we
Yes.
start to do the mentoring, we start to make them bond up with themselves and grow that community of business owners that will in turn support each other. And then we reach out to social media. We have a lot of social media presence where we reach out and advertise on social media, and a lot of online webinars and live sessions just to educate people about the fair. So if we don't just put out the adverts about the fair there, we go further to people using webinars and live sessions on Instagram and TikTok and even Facebook. So one thing, we leverage local community. So we go to community leaders, religious leaders, local community leaders, women leaders, and we tell them about the project. We bring it to them and ask them to come collaborate with us. So collaborating with us means that we would in turn make them like partners in the business fair, where they would inform the members of their community that something like this is happening at this time. And that also build physical presence. So while we're doing online presence, we work with a lot of communities and organizations in that same local community where we're having the event.
So that is very interesting dynamics that and I think I quite like the idea of the pre-event support and the post-event support, which is also really important. And I think it's particularly very important for a new business, if for a new business to have that sort of support in place. Eventity's signature, how can people find out about the events that you're doing? You've listed them on the on this program. So how can people find out about it? Is that a website, and what are your social media handles that you can share with us? And of course, tell us, you can talk about the event for tomorrow, what to expect.
Right. So we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram as Identities. So if you just go to Instagram, you have all.
Sorry, I think you're cutting out there a bit, Queen. Sorry. Do you want to repeat that, please? Sorry, your line was cutting off a bit.
Okay. We are from
No, it's the line is dropped so badly, I'm afraid. So I take it that you say event entities. signature is available on Facebook, it's on Instagram, and also on all social media platforms. So it's event TTs, to check that out. So the event TTs Business Fair 2025, it's happening tomorrow. It's happening at Destiny Church. It's ongoing. By the time the show is out, actually, it's a pre-recorded. So by the time the show is out, the event would have started, and 7 a.m. at Destiny Church. It's an all-day event. It's until 7 p.m. So if you can go along, today's Saturday, the 29th of March, if you can go along to that, and basically meet some of the businesses. If you're aspiring entrepreneur wanting to learn about business or to see about other businesses, to talk to business people, to people that have started and to people that are starting, that's a very good playground for you to go and basically learn from different entrepreneurs that will be there, and get to speak to all these people that have started businesses themselves. So I think I was quite intrigued by what you said about your sharing your attempts to other businesses, and where you've just gone back to your passion. So usually sometimes you speak to other people that are aspiring to get into entrepreneurial real spaces. They perhaps are very unsure what they actually want to bring into the market. Was that part of your challenge, or because sometimes you can identify a need, which is just a need because you see it, but you've just not spoken to anyone that you think they will have that need? So what would you say? What's the start point of you thinking about a business idea? Is it more to kind of identify the needs by speaking to the people that might need it, or would you be judging, or were you finding a personal solution, like the story of the person that you mentioned, the brand that you mentioned? Would you be more kind of looking at that approach to say, you know what, I have this problem. I think there are many people that would have this problem, so I better bring a solution that can perhaps to just what I need. Do you look at it in a broader sense, or do you look at it from a personal point of view?
I would say yes and no. For some of the business, it was from a personal point of view. Oh, okay, I know this thing. I know a little bit about it. You know what? Let me do it and let me turn it into money making machine. So and then some I would say, oh, okay, I feel like I haven't seen this product anywhere, or it's scarce. Maybe I should actually do it and add my own touch to make it my own. Do you get what I mean? So coming back to my brand, that was eventually the story. Like, okay, so this, that, and the third in the market. All right, but it's not what I really want. It's similar. Okay, I might just start making my own so I can tell the story I want to tell, but also catering to every other person out there that is like me. Do you get? So I would say your question, I would say yes and no. Some of them, like I said, being just young and carefree and everything, it's just, I can do this and turn it into money making, so let me do it. Yeah.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. So Queen, I don't know if we still have you on the line, but let's try again to just while we wrap up on the show, because I know you are traveling, so you're on the move. So Queen, can you hear? No, okay. I think Queen is left, so that's fine.
Yes.
So the event is okay. Queen is back on the line. So what should we expect at the event? That's at Destiny Church Hall. on Pollock Shores Road in Glasgow. So it's happening 7 a.m. 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's an all-day event. What should we expect?
Right. So for the event that is happening tomorrow, it's a long day event, and just come ready to shop items at discounted prices. Also, remember that you could come and learn from industry experts that will be speaking tomorrow as either keynote speakers or as panel session members. And we're going to have an array of over 16 businesses.
Okay.
And then 16 businesses will range from food to fashion to makeup to jewelries and even local snacks. So if you come on tomorrow, you would have a wide range of business owners to support. And please, Glasgow Wagians, I'm going to use this opportunity to ask you to please come out and support the local businesses in your community, because this is going to form a strong connection for them, and it will also motivate them to kick on and continue their individual businesses.
Excellent. That's wonderful. So, and you were about to mention, when we lost you there, you were about to mention where Eventities can be found online.
Yes, so we can be found on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So on Instagram, you could search up Eventities Business Fair, and then on Facebook, it's Eventities Signature, and on TikTok, it's Eventities. So these are our social media handles, and you can also watch videos of our previous fairs on our YouTube channel. It's just Eventities Signature. And if you have any inquiries, we have a website coming up soon where we can still help you take up all your inquiries and any feedback you like directly on the website.
Okay, and for now, they can do DMs to...
Yes.
Okay. And for you, contactable Mo is also the same on social media, and of course your website as well, where anyone can reach you.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you very much both for coming on the show. That is it for this week, Enterprise in Scotland. Our weekly show, which is focused on bringing conversations around ethnic minority-owned businesses in Scotland. So until next week, have a nice weekend.
So